The House Ethics Committee report on Matt Gaetz and his extracurricular activities has been out for a week now. And of course, that news was out there, but it got a little bit buried due to the holidays that all kicked off last week. So people haven't been paying as much attention to the news as usual. And again, not going to fault him for that. We had a lot of holidays. We still have holidays going on. But Matt Gaetz, on social media at least, has taken a lot of heat for this. But he's not the only one, because apparently people are also pissed off, rightfully so, at the United States Department of Justice that refused to prosecute Matt Gaetz. And according to the House Ethics Committee report, the DOJ actually did worse than just not prosecuting him. The report accuses Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States, it accuses his DOJ of actively obstructing the congressional investigation. Think about that for a minute, folks. Merrick Garland, appointed by a Democrat, who, by the way, is the biggest mistake that President Biden made. I said that from the beginning when he was first appointed. And Garland has been the biggest mistake. I'm not even going to call it a disappointment. It is a downright mistake that President Biden made and should have replaced his ass years ago because he's a worthless person. A pro-corporate, anti-worker a-hole is what Garland is. But the Democrat, according to the Republicans, obstructed the investigation into a Republican. Now, if that's not a twist of irony, then I don't know what is. But here is what the report said for anybody that hasn't been following along with it. The committee said it had found substantial evidence of Gaetz breaking federal and state laws, noting that an adult man having sex with a 17-year-old constitutes statutory rape in Florida, where the statute of limitations has already expired. Not only did Gaetz regularly pay for sex, but he also was using and purchasing drugs from his office on Capitol Hill, investigators allege. At one point, he abused his influence as a member of Congress to help a woman he was having sex with obtain a passport, falsely claiming she was a constituent. Investigators also accuse Gaetz of obstructing justice, a federal offense, noting that some women cited a fear of retaliation from the congressman when declining to speak on the record with the committee. In sum, the committee concluded that there was substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz violated House rules, state and federal laws, and other standards of conduct prohibiting prostitution, illicit drug use, acceptance of impermissible gifts, the provision of special favors and privileges, and obstruction of Congress. But the report also accuses the Department of Justice of obstruction, noting that investigators were repeatedly stymied in their attempts to obtain information on Gaetz and his accusers, the department citing a policy against sharing evidence in cases where it has not brought charges. And during the DOJ's investigation, they also slow-rolled things. They wouldn't let departments share information with each other. The whole thing was rigged from the start in the DOJ investigation. The question is why? Why was this Department of Justice that allegedly was being weaponized against Republicans, right? Remember that? Even though the investigation technically began when Donald Trump was in office. But anyway, this Department of Justice that hates Republicans so much, we've been weaponized against them. We're going after Trump. We're going after everybody we can, according to the Republicans. Why did they obstruct their own investigation and the House investigation into Gaetz? That is a question for which, unfortunately, I do not have an answer. But according to the House Ethics Committee, that is what happened. So, Gaetz, in my opinion, based on what they found, be criminally charged. Like that's a given. That is absolutely a given that there should be criminal charges brought, and he has a he can go to court, he can lay out his defense, and we'll let the jury handle it from there, right? Everybody's entitled to due process. But this stinks to high heaven. The DOJ intentionally stonewalled their own investigation, and we as a public deserve answers. If Donald Trump wants to launch investigations into the Department of Justice, as he said he wants to do, then do this one, right? This is one I'll support, because this isn't weaponization. This is very clearly obstruction, and the public deserves answers. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.